This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school.
This one's wife, American Riviera Orchard, copying again. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You were recently treated to the splendiferous news that this one's wife had launched a new lifestyle brand. No doubt, you were immediately looking at all of the money that you would not spend, as the launch came with just a landing page and the attempt to cause you to part with your email address. So far, on Instagram, the venture has secured some 500,000 followers, albeit it's suggested that around half of those aren't actually genuine, demonstrating once again the failure of this one's wife to generate much attention that actually sticks and is beneficial to her. I've explained to you before that many narcissists plagiarize the work of other individuals. Not all, but many do. All narcissists acquire characteristics, behaviors, aspects of other people's lives, characters, behaviors, and will utilize them. The less evolved narcissists do it almost wholesale because they have nothing to offer of themselves. No talent, no ability, no original thoughts. Certain narcissists will use aspects of other people, but they actually do have ability and talent. They also have the capacity to create and will have insightful observations. They're a more evolved form of narcissist. But many, through character trait acquisition, engage in this for two reasons. The first is to enable the narcissist to fit in, to make it look like birds of a feather, to make the narcissist seem like just like you, which allows the narcissist to pass unhindered into your world, making ensnarement of you easier. Secondly, it's done for other aspects of the pursuit of the prime aims, facade management, residual benefits, for instance, by virtue of a money-making enterprise. By taking the work of somebody else and passing it off as the narcissist's own, that could provide some form of income. And it would be no surprise to find that this one's wife will have taken work from elsewhere in relation to American Riviera Orchard. Already there is the suggestion that she pinched the name from a bank. And we know that in the past she has utilised other people's quotations and made them seem like her own, other people's speeches and made them seem like her own, other people's experiences. For instance, the class project she's passed off as her own in relation to the tedious Procter & Gamble anecdote, that she took an instance from a cartoon and made it seem as though she was the one that had attended a naked Korean noodle spa, that she took an advertisement containing Catherine Zeta-Jones and passed it off as her own to talk about crawling out of the back of cars because she couldn't open the door of her vehicle. Time and time again, this one's wife has commandeered through character trait acquisition, the third aspect of the four prime aims, as a means of making her seem more relatable, of trying to create a greater degree of authenticity. It is just par the course in relation to her narcissism. And it appears that this character trait acquisition is happening again. Alison Boshoff reports in the Daily Mail, it's suspiciously derivative how insiders believe this one's wife's new lifestyle brand is eerily similar to this super luxe Californian firm she wanted to go into business with. Thus, the suggestion is that she looked at another business, she wanted to get into bed with them, they sensibly decided, no, we don't want to be associated with a self-absorbed toxic individual and fuck up our hard-earned brand recognition. And therefore, she thought, well, do you know what I'll go and do? My writing hasn't gone anywhere, not my fault. My film career hasn't gone anywhere, not my fault. My content creation hasn't gone anywhere, not my fault. My philanthropic and charitable deeds haven't really got me anywhere, not my fault. What I'll do is I'll set up a lifestyle brand and basically go back to doing the TIG. Because she's lazy and because of the sense of entitlement and lack of accountability and absence of emotional empathy driven by her narcissism, she sees there's nothing wrong in pinching the ideas from other people and using them herself. It therefore is the suggestion that this is what she's done with regard to somebody else's brand. Alison Boshoff writes, "There is a very particular kind of perfection in an elegantly stamped brick of soap, especially ones made with hand-picked black pepper from Madagascar, or sustainable Big Sur sea salt, or jasmine from a third-generation Egyptian farm, plucked every morning at dawn." In fact, the offerings from Californian lifestyle brand Flamingo Estate are so elevated. A range of candles endorsed by the Dalai Lama, a 200-pound jar of honey from actress Julianne Moore's Bees, Buzz Buzz, that at times it reads like a parody of a shopping list for the world's top 0.001%. Put it this way, once you have inspected a drinking chocolate gift set which costs £73 and heirloom tomato-scented dish soap costing £23, a favourite of Oprah Winfrey, you will no longer be impressed by Gwyneth Paltrow's Luxe Vision at Goop. Flamingo Estate makes Goop look so mass market that it might as well be Lidl, and a certain Duchess of Sussex has taken note. The brand was created by stylist and creative Richard Christiansen in 2020. What began as a pandemic enterprise in which veg boxes from local farmers were packaged beautifully and sold to his wealthy friends for a fortune became something far bigger and more lucrative. A tiny jar of dried strawberries dusted with chili costs £63. Bags of manure have been sold for £60 a pop. Will Ferrell's honey, also for sale at £200, is now sold out and on a waiting list. It also sells in-car fragrance, which smells not of new car, but of olive oil. It will make your car smell like the warm embrace of a hot farmer, promises Christiansen. Inviting. The idea is that much of the produce comes from Christiansen's 7-acre garden and is made in his enviable Tuscan-style pink palazzo just outside Los Angeles. Previously owned by a director of pornographic movies, for decades the house had been used as a porn studio. Now, as Christiansen's Instagram posts show, the real hotbeds of the house are his fabulous kitchen, where boughs filled with peach blossoms sit in the sink, and his garden, from where a bountiful harvest is gathered. What makes this olive oil for the Cali Elite Enterprise news is that in 2022, the owner was visited numerous times by this one's wife. She, of course, has just announced her own lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, which will operate from her own Tuscan-style cream palazzo in Monte Chicho in California. And as we shall see, the indications are that it has numerous areas of coincidence with the Flamingo Estate in terms of style, aspiration, inspiration, and even target market. That she was inspired by this wildly fancy venture seems beyond question. The issue now becomes, is she planning on copying it wholesale? Well, that is a distinct risk as a consequence of the sense of entitlement of the narcissist, the absence of boundary recognition, the absence of emotional empathy for infecting somebody else's brand in this manner. One observer says that this one's wife's newly launched lifestyle brand looks like what happens when you go to a dinner at Flamingo Estate and aren't invited back, and adds that this one's wife offering is suspiciously derivative. It's no surprise to be told that she was utterly enamoured by this vision of uncompromising high-end perfection, presented with unbending elegance. Again, the delusion of the Duchess of Delusion is such that she believes that this is the type of brand that would be apt for her. As the website puts it, Flamingo Estate is a reminder that beauty is not so much the penchant of certain people for exceptional things as it is their refusal to stand for anything less. Words which one can imagine dropping from this one's wife's lips. Reports reveal that she was so bowled over by the vision that she actually wanted to partner Christiansen and his boyfriend, Aaron Harvey, in business, as she did, for instance, with the drinks company Clever Blends, in which she invested back in December 2020. Writer Rachel Strugatz of US entertainment website Puck said last week, "There were multiple in-person meetings with the Flamingo estate team in 2022, I'm told, and this one's wife expressed a desire to come on as an active partner in the business." She added, apparently this one's wife and Prince Harry became such big fans that they displayed Flamingo estate products in their home. A stack of Flamingo estate books about gardening and the environment, costing an astonishing £290 for 6 books, is visible in the background of a 2022 clip of Prince Harry promoting a New Zealand eco-travel project from his study. Strugatz said that no deal was ever done between Flamingo estate and this one's wife, noting, ultimately, the estate realised they didn't want to take the business in that direction, which is code for they didn't want to be involved with an abject loser. She added that a source said it was a business that this one's wife was trying to be a part of, and said that this one's wife had the chance to look through all the relevant financial information which an investor might, giving her intimate knowledge of the business. With Flamingo estate sales doubling each year and the venture now in profit, you might imagine that this would present a very tempting prospect for this one's wife, a former actress with an excess of public attention and a well-developed aspirational personal style, but a lack of long-term commercial deals. The fact is, the deal with Netflix is expected not to be renewed, Spotify failed, and she and Harry have yet to fund their extremely expensive lifestyle, which costs a reported $2 million a year for security. The writer states, would it be hopelessly vulgar to suggest, though, that Christensen could be taken a little aback by this one's wife plans, which were unveiled this month? For her lifestyle brand seems to be aiming to occupy a very similar space to his. Let's take recipe books, which this one's wife's American Riviera orchard is seeking to publish online and in book form. Flamingo Estate has published its Fridays from the Garden cookbook, comprising 150 recipes, with a foreword from the Queen of Lifestyle, Martha Stewart. It cost £62. How about jams and jellies, for which Riviera Orchard is also seeking trademark? Here again is a central plank of the Flamingo Estate's offering. Model Chrissy Teigen, reputedly a role model for this one's wife, has made 3 jams with the company, which has a whole section devoted to pantry essentials. All of their celebrity collaborations are non-profit and send funds to the good causes nominated by their celebrity partners. America River Orchard wants to sell nut butters, salsas and spices. Flamingo Estate sells chili oil, olive oil and salsa maca. When we come to the gardening forks and trowels, Flamingo Estate sold a range of hand-cast bronze gardening tools for £2,400 a set. We wait to see what the price point is of this one's wife's garden essentials. Some things, though, are pure this one's wife, such as the calligraphy-inspired logo and the focus on fancy stationery of all kinds, including guest books and table place card holders. But mostly, there is an unnerving feeling of asynchronicity. Even the suggestion that there might be an American Riviera Orchard shop is very Flamingo Estate. It had a successful pop-up in the Hamptons over the summer. It would appear, therefore, that there are huge similarities between the Flamingo Estate, which she has had a good long look at, and the way that she is trying to set up American Riviera Orchard, which once again goes to demonstrate the way that this one's wife sees nothing wrong in copying others, taking their ideas, passing them off as her own, because there's never an original threat, or thought rather, in the empty head of this one's wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.